this was another massacre which was not forget about documentation. Every trace of that incident was wiped out by Mrs. Indira Gandhi. So if we take a few steps back before the actual massacre in 1966, when Indira Gandhi was, standing up for her elections in the year before that, I think, or maybe it was the same year. So just the election just before 1966 massacre, Indira Gandhi went and sought prayers of many Hindu saints, and they made the demand that the cow slaughter should be made illegal in the entire country to implement that law. The cow slaughter, the section, the Article 44 of the Indian Constitution says that slaughter of all gavans should be made illegal in the whole country, and that's what the Hindu saints were demanding. Now, Indira Gandhi contested in the elections, keeping this as a major policy proposition, promising this to the Hindus, and that's why she won the election on Hindu votes. It's important to remember this. So, I mean, I know that our idea of Congress and all that is very different today, but back in the day, Indira Gandhi was actually running on Hindu votes. She was standing for the Hindu lobby. So she won the election, promising to deliver that they will bring that law in the constitution, as per the constitution and all that. But she didn't do that. And the Hindu saints made several appeals to her that you promised this, you should be implementing this, but she never paid any attention. She did not even give them an audience, actually. So she treated them disrespectfully, and she did not even give them an audience after winning an election on this. And on the day of Gopashtami in 1966, a lot of the Hindu saints and Hindu devotees appeared there with their children, with their wives, as entire families, just as silent protest, right, to show up and make their voices heard, because they were not being given any audience at all. And now Mrs. Indira Gandhi decided to open fire on this entire crowd. So that was a very grievous mistake of Indira Gandhi, because in this, in this particular massacre, I don't remember the exact figure. Let me go and check. Yeah. So this figure is 5,000. That is also an estimate, but because it was a huge crowd, the whole in front of the parliament, there was a huge crowd and people were pouring in from all directions, and everybody was there as peaceful protest was our method of even getting independence. So this was not something unusual, this was not something out of the ordinary. Nowadays we live in a tech world, so we think everything works on Twitter, but that's not how it was in the 1960s, right? That was our way of lobbying, of making our voices heard. So the Hindus showed up in thousands, maybe even in lakhs, because we don't have any documentation of it. And 5,000 were massacred because they actually fired bullets on Hindu saints and Hindu devotees. And that's not it. They actually, of course, they forced the crowd to disperse. But after that, they actually, disposed of the dead bodies. There was a very systematic practice, to actually remove the dead bodies from that incident, from that site of that incident, and take it outside of Delhi, and nobody knew what happened to them. So we can't really hope that they actually even did the final rites for those Hindu devotees and Hindu saints who were so brutally massacred. This was the part which was the worst. They did not even allow people to take the dead home. I mean, they did not even allow the families of the people who had died to even take the dead bodies home. And this is as horrible as it gets. It's not expected from an Indian leader who claims to be Hindu. So this was the part of this whole massacre which has been completely covered up, as you can expect. When they did not, and they removed that, the whole, even the last trace of that massacre so quickly, because they did not want the media to get there. Again, this was not the digital age, this was not the information age. The media was not there at that time, and whoever was there must have been massacred. But the media was not allowed to cover it, and there was a very proper campaign to threaten or to basically silence the media to publish from publishing anything of that sort, because they did not want this protest to fire up Hindus all over the country. We didn't have TVs in 1960s, right? We only had the newspaper. So they did not want the whole country to know that this has happened. They did not want that the whole country should break into a civil war against Indira Gandhi. So this was a very sad episode of our history, which has been suppressed. Unfortunately, it continues to be suppressed because even Hindu leadership in any party, any political party, does not take it up, does not talk about it.
Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net. Dhanyavad. Namaskar.